Good morning, everybody. It is early o'clock in the morning. I'm quite tired because I haven't been taking sleeping pills. A lot of people take sleeping pills. Uh, for some reason, I don't find it too much of an issue to get sleep, apart from I am waking up quite a lot in the night. Um, and I'll talk about that in a second. Uh, it's the fourth day of chemo today, so my last day of chemo. And I didn't film anything for you yesterday, but I thought there's a few things I could talk to you about today. First of all, how have I got through chemo? How's that made me feel? Um, Not really any different in my mind. I don't know that I'm particularly fatigued at all. I think I'm a bit tired because I'm not sleeping particularly well, and partly that's my fault. I faff around on social media and watching TV and stuff until really late at night because you think, well, I'm not doing anything much the next day, so I can just sleep it off. So there's always that risk of then getting not a very good night's sleep, um, and then just feeling a bit rubbish the next day. But it's nothing to do with the chemo, it's just being rubbish. So there's that. I am, as I think I've said before, shakier on my feet. So the roller coaster ride that they call it means that when you get chemo, you can sort of take a dip as your immune system is obviously killed off gradually. So I find that I'm less, the MS seems to have been able to take more hold of my coordination in walking, I think. And I certainly have seen that with some other people as well. Um, so that's worth thinking about. As far as pills are concerned, you have to take an antacid pill an hour before you eat any meal. And then after that, see if I can show you, there's just a few, sometimes 4, sometimes 3, sometimes 5, maybe, I don't know, pills to take after you've eaten. Those are the sleeping pills there that are just stacked up because I'm not been using them. I think I had one on the first night. I don't know if it made any difference, but probably did. And I thought I'd talk to you today about catheters, not the catheter in your neck, but urinary catheters, because I asked to have one put in yesterday. About 2 nights ago, I had a massive long conversation on Skype to one of my mates, about a 3-hour conversation. And during that conversation, because throughout the day you have like 5 litres of stuff put in you, and then 4 hours later you get another 2 litres, and 4 hours later you get another 2 litres or 1 litre, depending on what day. So you get a lot of liquid shoved into you. That 3-hour conversation to my mate on Skype entailed me having about 47,000 trips to the loo for a week, because obviously you've got a load of liquid in you that's a lot more than you normally drink in a day. So that constantly comes out. I'm fairly mobile, so that's fine. It's just a bit annoying. So I said, as other people who are less mobile than me have, can I have a catheter? So they said, yeah, there's no problem at all. It makes it a lot easier. And actually, what I really wanted it for was the night time. So I don't have to keep getting up at night, because that really disrupts your sleep. So it's really important I could just lay in bed and urinate, because I'm lazy. So they did that, and as you would expect, it's a little bit embarrassing as a bloke, especially when they send in the youngest nurse to do it. You're like, oh, brilliant, thanks for that. Although, in my mind, of course, she selected that job. Yeah, sure. No. So the whole process of a catheter for a bloke, for a man, is, some people say, oh, it's really uncomfortable. I didn't find it that uncomfortable, actually, getting it in there and whatnot. A couple of times you're like, oh, yeah. But that was fine. It's actually after it's in, just getting used to that sensation, and it was a bit uncomfortable. And then you just get used to it. And what it does is it bypasses your muscles, so you don't actually go to the loo. It just passes into a bag, and that bag you can hook onto your. In fact, I've got the bag here. I won't show you the the delights of the interior. But that's a sort of bag that it is, connected to a plug hole at the bottom and a tube. Where are you? A tube at the top, and that tube just constantly sort of fills up the bag as you go through the day. And if you're quite mobile like me, you can hook that onto your trousers, or you can hang it on, put it on the floor, or hang it by your bed or wherever. If you're like me and quite mobile, you can go and empty that yourself when you want, or the nurses come and do it for you. It's amazing. In fact, last night was the first night I had one on, and wow! So I reckon I drank most of that during the night, and I probably urinated over 3 times that, because a nurse came in the middle of the night twice and emptied my catheter, which is amazing. You know, it's brilliant. So I didn't have to get out of bed. So I found that really useful for me, even though I'm fairly mobile, and it's just the sheer volume of liquid that I think you're subjected to. So I thought that might be quite useful for you to know. I'm going to have a shower soon. That's something else. It's quite easy, I think, to just let personal hygiene go when you're just stuck in a room moseying about, or like in the communal area. And so it's, you know, making sure you have a shower every day and stuff like that, I think is quite important. Obviously, when you've got a catheter in your neck, you can really only shower from the chest downwards, and then the rest you have to sort of wash more manually or whatever, your head. So that's that as far as pills, catheter, chemo, and personal hygiene are concerned. I'm going to tell you one more thing, which is, while you're on chemo, to help support your kind of digestion and stomach and stuff, they give you 2 sort of protein shakes to have throughout the day of various flavors. I don't really like cappuccino, so I went for tropical, and I think vanilla I've got today. So these are, let's see if I can manipulate my laptop over to here. So those are the shakes there. So you have 2 of those in between. You have one in between each of your top-ups throughout the day. So you have your main chemo in the morning. So I'm due to have breakfast now, and then after that I'll have my pills, and then 3 hours probably of chemo, and then I'll have a shake, and then 4 hours later I have a bit more chemo, and then another shake, and then 4 hours later in the evenings, 7:30, 8 o'clock, I'll have my last sort of top-up chemo. Sorry about that movement. Yeah, and that's about that really. I think you can pop to the shops and things, but because I had so much liquid in me, I didn't feel as confident doing that without a catheter, to be fair, like getting to the shop and back on time. So I might pop to the shop today, whereas I didn't before I had my catheter on during this chemo stage. But your leukocyte levels, your immune system isn't yet, even though you've done I've done 3 days of chemo, it's not until after chemo finishes that your immunity is really at the rock bottom, and you have to be in isolation and extra careful. So during this period, yes, you need to be careful and wear a mask and things like that, but you can sort of go outside for a short period if you need to, as far as I understand it. So hopefully that was useful to you. But the other thing, I find that, and someone else is saying this, you sweat quite a bit more at night during chemo, and whether that's the drugs, whether it's just the excess liquid you got in your units trying to get out, I don't know. But yeah, a little bit more sweaty at night. But other than that, everything is pretty normal compared to the stuff you were doing before. You're just having to take on all these chemicals. I haven't really found an effect. I know that someone else said that they slept an awful lot and they were really sort of knocked out. People react in different ways. The same on the stimulation drugs, when they stimulate your stem cells. Some people get quite a lot of pain across their sort of pelvis or back area or sternum area, which is where your bones are producing the stem cells. And so with some bodies, your bones react really well to the stimulants and you produce a shed load of stem cells, and that is obviously going to make you ache a bit more. And some people take painkillers for that because they ache a bit more. But then maybe the flip side of that is they produce the stem cells in only 1 day or 1.5 days or something. It took me 3 days. I didn't really have any pain at all. But then I had 3 days of stimulation for my stem cells to be produced. So some people said they feel a bit of achiness and pain then. I didn't. Again, these things are so variable and it's hard to predict. They will react obviously to your needs. So if you need painkillers or if you need this and that because you've felt in any way different, then that's what they're here for, and that's why they're great. You get weighed every morning, so that's interesting. So I did put on 7 kilograms when I was on the steroids and stimulants and stuff, and that's, you know, when I really bloated out. I think I showed a picture of that in one of my videos. Now I've kind of lost that. I've gone back down to 84, 85 kilograms. So most of that has been, you know, passed in water probably because it's water retention. Yeah, all fine. So this is my last day of chemo. Tomorrow will be a day off, and then a stem cell birthday, and then isolation for 10 days. So that should be fun. If you have any questions, as ever, you know, ask in the comments area or on the Facebook forums, and I will try and answer them in any future video. As for now, take it easy. Hope that was useful. And I'm going to have a shave. I will have a shave today. I'm being lazy. It's easy to be lazy. I'm going to have a shave. Yes. So the other thing I wanted to say was that, well, first of all, I just had a shave, so the proper babyface Pierce is back. I have been saying these videos with regard to my EDSS score, my mobility. I've said it a few times that I'm able to do that because, you know, I'm fairly mobile. My EDSS score is about 3.5 to 4. So walking is fine and doing things is fine. But obviously some people watching these videos will be in wheelchairs or will use walkers or have walking sticks and will be far less mobile. And in those cases, some of the things that I'm able to do more independently, they won't be able to do so well. And the staff here will be on hand to help. You know, they're a very helpful lot, and some of the more mobile people as well will help each other to get around and do stuff. So, you know, don't judge. Don't think that, oh, he can do that. Am I expected to do that as well? They will help you do whatever you need to do in whichever way is most appropriate. So, yeah. Just thought I'd throw that one in at the end in case some people are worried, thinking, well, I'm far less mobile than that, and how would I be able to do that? You know, the staff here are absolutely fabulous.